year, we saw some huge updates and new features from the Webflow keynote conference. One of them being Webflow's new Spline interaction, which allows you to build and animate 3D web interactions directly in the designer. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a simple scroll animation using a 3D globe created in Spline. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Spline and go in the Community tab. And here you can find the photoreal Earth. If you just search Earth in the tab, it'll be this first one here. And by clicking this button, you can remix this shape. So this is the one here that I've remixed on my account. I've turned off some events and states just because we want to animate directly into Webflow and not have the animation play in Spline itself. So you can see where this has events and current states. You can just take them off from this section over here. And also when exporting, it's important that you turn the orbit off. You can see the settings that I've done here to get that code. So now we know what shape we're using. I'm in Webflow in my project that I've set up, and I've just created a spline spacer using a div. So I just popped the div in and gave it a class of spline spacer and also given it a height of 90 VUH. It's also position relative. So then you want to go in and add your spline by doing Command E, and if you just type in spline scene will come up. And then you go back into Spline, and once you click export, you can find the code here, and it's just this top line here that you want to copy back into Webflow, and then you just paste that in there. I'm giving my spline scene the class of spline globe. So I've got it as 100% view width, 100 view height, and also it's a fixed position, which is 12 view height from the top. So now it's got a fixed position, it will follow down the screen as we scroll. And I've actually got two interactions in here. I've got one which is the globe as it goes down the page, so it's got a scroll animation on it. And what I've done here is it's just scaling and moving from left to right. So that's just one of Webflow's native animations that you can do. But for this tutorial, we're going to look at Spline specifically. So going into my Spline animation, I've set up a scroll animation, and then all you'd have to do is go into the integrations, and Spline is just there. So there's two things that I want to do in here. I actually want to move the position of the sun, which we can do. Under Spline, in the object, you can pick which object you'd like to animate. So I want to go and do the sun first, and I want it to stay the same throughout the whole animation. So I'm going to give it, on the y-axis, put in 30, and then the same down here, 30. Make sure that sun is selected. And then I'm going to add in another interaction with the spline, which is going to be rotating the Earth. So go in here, go to Earth. And I want it to spin very slightly, so I'm going to put this first one as 0. And then add another one down here. Make sure it's on Earth. And you can just, if you just move it around, you can see how you want it to move. I'm probably going to go 3, 5, because I don't want it to move too much. And then live preview, you can see that spinning. So then if you save, publish, and then once we look at this published page, I also have a preload animation because the spline scene is quite, takes a long time to load. So it's good just to have a little preload on there, and then you can see the full animation. Don't forget to check out my website where you can find tons of free Webflow resources and tutorials. And don't forget to subscribe to help the channel. Thanks for watching.